I work definitely with spray paint, and I work with acrylics, and a combination of those two. Sometimes, you know, a lot of the designs are ideas that are digitized and then executed on a wall or a canvas. I've been a pretty creative kid growing up, so that was always something I found interesting, was drawing and painting. I got into the aerosol spray type artwork when I was 13, 14, kind of when I got into like hip hop music too. My main influence was definitely hip hop culture, hip hop music, underground stuff, and coming from Boise, that was weird because there wasn't a lot of that, and the little amount I did see, I kind of picked up on it from skateboarding, and that was what sucked me into, I guess, that culture. And then from there it was like each day was a new page of learning stuff and like doing research on the internet, you know, because no one at the time was really doing that a whole lot. There were some writers here in town, but you didn't see a lot of graffiti at all. You saw it more in skate videos and skate magazines, and it just, I thought, was a really cool way to capture the culture. To me, it's important to express yourself, and that, I feel, is where I gravitate towards, like mural work or painting my name on something, you know, like it just adds a touch to something that might not be there, might be same boring gray blank wall, you know, but if I can find a way to flip it, I will. Like the scaling is the hardest part because you're going from like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper to a wall, and you want your letters to all be balanced and like the symmetry is there. I mean, for me, like it's geometry and angles and stuff, like that's how I scale stuff on a piece of paper to a wall, is really just check the angles. And like, it's a weird process, and for like artwork wise, I haven't had to tap into using a projector quite yet, but I just, you know, hold the reference up to the wall, make sure it fits in the corners, and then just find points to plot and just start going to town. I mean, there's all sorts of approaches, and in my opinion, there's no wrong way to do it. But what works for me and what I take pride in is being able to show up to a space. If I have an image I want to work on, and you're just doing it, you know? That to me is where what I learned in graffiti too, is just doing it. Like, you know, whether that's legal or illegal, you can figure out how to paint your name on that space and make it look tasteful. So it's almost easier to paint bigger. Like, really is, because you aren't trying to focus so much detail on something small. If you can magnify something small to where it's like literally just, you know, a big, huge area, the amount of detail you have to put in that isn't as much as if you're trying to shrink down and work on a small scale. So I don't claim what I do is graffiti. I mean, what I do is mural work. Graffiti is like, to me, something that you do at night, like when no one's watching. But it's different. So I guess to classify it, some people might call what we do street art, but I don't like to call it that. Just because it's done with a certain medium doesn't mean it's street art. Street art is still, to me, like illegal shit. You're doing wheat paste, you're doing stencils, stickers, tags, like, you know, marker stuff. Graffiti is like straight up bombing with like paint and putting your name somewhere in a certain style and in a certain fashion. Everything's going to keep evolving with art, with anything. Here in Boise, I think they nurture the creatives. They give those people a platform as best as they can. And, you know, if you're an artist that's just learning how to do what you want to do, and if you want to put it in front of the people's eyes, you gotta embrace the failure, because it'll happen for sure. And like, you know, when that does occur to you as an artist, take that as like a golden token, you know, like you've earned a stripe almost, and figure out how to, you know, reinvent that situation to where it can get you further the next time. And don't be discouraged, because that is what happens, like, and that's what will straight up wipe artists' motivation from their heads, you know, and then they just will be like, oh, I tried that, you know. But you gotta be persistent and expect failure to happen. So that way when it does happen, you aren't like caught off guard. So yeah, I mean, that's some advice. I guess stay healthy too. That's all I gotta say.